Hello, I'm Lauren. Now, I've got a question for you. What do you think of when you hear the words Victorian school? Wearing a dunce hat, the dreaded cane, scary teachers telling you to sit up straight and don't talk. Sure, Victorian schools might have a bad rep today, but did you know it was the Victorians who made school free for everyone? But what did this education look like? What did they teach? How did they teach it? And how did their lessons compare to our schools today? Well, I'm on a mission to find out. So I've come to Gunnersbury Park and Museum in London. Why? Well, because this house was owned by the Rothschild family, who used some of their wealth to help children receive an education, and they set up a local school. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So, are you ready to take a trip back in time with me? Using my time-travelling pocket watch right here, I'm going to be travelling back to the year 1891. So, close your eyes, hold on tight, and think of the Victorians. I'll see you on the other side. That worked nicely.
Heavens, what was that noise? Oh, you must be the new teacher in training. I will. Come, follow me. Can I ask how you got here? Education focuses on the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. Now, of course, we do teach other subjects as well, particularly religious instruction, because that is very important.
Should it be the 1 R, a W and an A?
Don't be so facetious! Anyway, I'm sure you'll agree that the 3 R's does have a rather nice ring to it.
In the Victorian times, there were no computers, no phones, and typewriters were only just a new invention. Everything had to be written by hand. So learning to write and write well was therefore considered very important. So, Miss Pritchard, how many children will I be teaching?
Well, of course, that depends on where you end up. In a country school, maybe 50. But in the city, perhaps 200.
200? In one room?
Oh yes, but don't worry. The youngest ones will sit at the front and the oldest at the back.
Wow, so all ages in one room.
Well, yes. But pay heed. Make sure you separate the boys and the girls. There shall be no fraternising. Now you'll see before you a sand tray. Now this is the way that we teach the very youngest children how to write. They copy the letters from the board here with their finger or a stick in the sand. There.
So the children are learning, they're going to make mistakes, and this makes it nice and easy for them to rub out and start again.
What have you written there?
Oh, I've just written my name.
That is very presumptuous, Lauren. Shake the tray and start again. This time, you shall write the name of our gracious ruler.
It's very clever, and not too dissimilar to using a whiteboard in our time.
Now, once the children have mastered the sand tray, we move on to the slate and slate pencil, which you see before you there.
And why do you use slates instead of paper?
Oh, good gracious me. Well, paper is extremely expensive. We cannot afford to waste it on mistakes. Oh, no. Ink and paper are just for the oldest children. We use the slate and slate pencil, you see, because it is easy to rub out again and again. Now, the children should bring in with them a cloth or a sponge for this, but often they forget and they resort to using their own spit and the cuff of their sleeve. I'm sure you can tell that that sort of practice does not hold with me. A filthy habit.
Yes, well, whilst this doesn't sound particularly hygienic, this is the origin of the phrase to wipe the slate clean.
Now, the style of writing that we use is called copperplate. And this is because the children learn from manuals that have been printed using copper. Now, you'll see some examples of copperplate here. I should like you to choose one and write it over and over again until you get it right. May I recommend Victoria? Now, as a teacher, you must make sure the children stay silent at all times. And this is to maintain good order in the classroom. But as I am sure you can hear from your writing there, the unpleasant scratching sound does not make this particularly easy.
As I practice my copperplate handwriting, Miss Pritchard tells me all about the Education Act passed this year.
Now, you see, before this act was passed, parents had to pay for their children to go to school. So this meant only the very rich and privileged could give their children an education.
So what did the children do who didn't get an education?
Oh, well, they went out to work to earn money for their families.
Before 1891, children often worked very long hours and in very dangerous conditions until the laws were gradually changed to improve their conditions. That doesn't seem entirely fair.
No, it wasn't. And without an education, there wasn't much hope of them getting a better job when they were grown up either. And now for some arithmetic.
Ah, you mean maths?
No, arithmetic. Now, I'm sure you recognise this marvellous invention, for it has been with us now for over 2,000 years. This, of course, is an abacus.
In the Victorian times, there was no such thing as an electronic calculator, but you could call the abacus one of the first forms of calculators, as it helped people to work out very large sums.
Now, the abacus can help us to add, subtract, multiply, and even divide. Now, let me show you. The bottom rung here, these are the ones. We go up one rung here, these are the tens. Up another to the hundreds, the thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, and so on and so forth. So, say for example, we want to work out 200 plus 5. First of all, we go to our ones and count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then our hundreds. 100, 200. And there you see you have the answer. 205.
Ah, got it. Very clever. So, what relevance does this have to the real world then?
Well, certainly we can use it for monetary matters. And yes, the denominations of our currency can be a challenge to work out.
Now, thankfully, in our time, money is fairly easy to learn. There are 100 pennies in a pound. But back in the Victorian times, it wasn't quite this simple. Let me show you. Firstly, you have farthings. Now, a farthing is a quarter of a penny. So there are 4 farthings in 1 penny, meaning 1 up from a farthing is a penny. Now, 1 up from a penny is a shilling, and there are 12 pennies in 1 shilling. Now, 1 up from a shilling is a pound, but back in the Victorian times, a pound was known as a sovereign, and there were 20 shillings in 1 sovereign. And finally, just to confuse matters even further, there was also a guinea, and with 21 shillings in a guinea, this was worth just a little bit more than a pound. But back in this point in time, there wasn't actually a coin for a guinea. Oh, and you also had a florin, a crown, and a half crown. But I can see I've confused you enough already, so we'll just leave it there for now.
Oh, excellent memorization, Lauren. I can see you have been practicing.
Lauren, can I put this cheat sheet down now? It's my arms are beginning to ache.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Lauren, I must say, I am quite impressed. You have mastered arithmetic and writing, and I think you will be able to teach the children very well indeed. Now, I have prepared for you a small examination just to formally assess your suitability for the role. So, if you could wait here for just 1 minute, I shall go and get the examination paper.
Exam? I didn't know there'd be an exam involved with this. Yeah, I think I'll take this opportunity to head back to the 21st century before I have to sit any exam. Right then, where's that pocket watch? Right then, close your eyes, hold on tight, and think of home.
Right, Miss Lauren. Where's she gone? Your Majesty.
As always, do remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.